Well, there's a lot being said about Johnny Depp and his wife Amber bringing in the two dogs on his private jet.
Which comes to the next issue, which is a gentleman by the name of John Christopher Depp, 51 years old, otherwise aka Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please, sir.
He actually hired that private jet for this occasion last year when he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean #5.
And he's decided to bring into our nation two dogs without actually getting the proper certification and the proper permits required. Basically looks like he snuck them in. We found out he snuck them in because we saw them taking it to a poodle groomer.
Now, the attitude seems to be that the Australian government's been really shitty about the treatment of the situation, but here's the reality, folks. Australia and New Zealand are the only two countries in the world that don't have rabies.
Australia is free of many pests and diseases that are commonplace around the world.
I know I'm talking about populated countries, not Siberia. But they'd have rabies. Not Iceland or things like that. I haven't done the research, but basically this is correct. So there's a very good reason we have the most strict quarantine laws in the world.
That is why Australia has to have such strong biosecurity laws.
And yes, it can be a pain in the bum even for Australians travelling in and out. When I heard the news last year, because it was a while back now, I thought, well, I hope they don't let him off without any consequences, because that's not fair.
If we start letting movie stars, even though they've been the sexiest man alive twice, to come into our nation, then why don't we just break the laws for everybody?
I also thought, I hope they don't stuff this up and turn it into the media circus that it's become.
And Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct. And Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct.
I actually thought, the first several times I saw it, it was saying Australians are firm and direct. But yeah, I was told that no, he's saying direct. So after I played it back a few times, yes, I realised that he, in fact, I think, is saying direct. Then again, it's being said by a very good actor, and I would not be surprised if that was deliberately slurred. Now, last time I checked, the fine for bringing in illegal substances may be different with dogs, unless you're going to eat them, was $200. That's the minimum fine, and of course it, I think, goes to $20,000 in court, etc. But here's the situation. No, he shouldn't have been let off scot-free, because I mean he and her did bring in the animals without declaring them, and she is now saying that her mind is to take care of that sort of thing. That's not a good enough excuse, because every person travelling, unless you're with a parent and you're under a certain age, 16 or whatever it is, you have to declare the form yourself. That's the law. That applies to all of us, whether we're filthy rich or dead broke. If you're dead broke, you're probably not flying anyway.
There is a process if you want to bring animals in. You get the permits, they go into quarantine, and then you can have them.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia.
So yeah, the whole thing became a media circus.
Although I don't think he'll get an Academy Award for his performance, the fact that he did it, I don't know, he looked like he was auditioning for The Godfather.
Barnaby Joyce is an absolute dickhead anyway. Nobody over here likes him, so don't for a minute think, if you're watching this in the States, that we're supportive of anything that he said.
Both warm and direct.
Now, Mr. Depp has to either take his dogs back to California, or we're going to have to euthanize them.
The examples he gave are probably to the extreme. If they found dogs or animals of any kind imported, yes, they generally do get destroyed. But this is like, we're talking smuggling, we're not talking about when they're being accompanied by an owner. It's a grey area, and unfortunately, hopefully it hasn't given a bad opinion of Australia to the rest of the world, but no, just because of his status, he should not have been allowed to get off scot-free. I would have given him a $200 fine. It's probably a lot more serious than a $200 fine, but we, most of us anyway, realise that, yeah, not everything's done by the book. Depends who you are.
He's now got about 50 hours left to remove the dogs. Now he can put them on the same charter jet he flew out on and fly them back out of our nation.
When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
So, rules were made to be used as a guideline, though you could argue that in court.
I don't determine the punishment of the court determines the punishment of the court.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared.
So it's time that Pistol and Boo buggered off back to the United States.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
As for the reason they made the video, I don't know. Once upon a time I would have had connections that might have given me a bit more information, but to me, definitely as an Australian citizen, even it sure looks like there was a trade-off, like do this little advertisement, people are going to take notice, but he certainly, yeah, he was acting, but he was acting very pissed off about the whole thing, very insincere. It probably did more damage than not. So
At the end of it, we've got a message that is going all around the world right now that is going off like a frog in a sock, telling people that if you come into this nation and you don't obey our laws, you're in trouble. That's what this is about. It's making sure we keep our nation, protect our fauna, our flora, and protect our biosecurity laws, because it's something, no matter which side of the political fence you're on in this nation, in our nation, we take this seriously.
anyway, maybe there was a trade-off. I don't know. I do know that he does like Australia, and we like him. So, yep, keep coming on over. Just remember, you do have to declare things. You have to declare in the States as well. So it's not like, you know, we're something weird about us. The other thing too is Australia, yeah, I guess we are an island.
Australia is a wonderful island.
But I always think of us as a country, because if you want to jump on Google and look this up, the size of Australia actually fits just into North America, and it fills it up pretty well. So you think of North America, that's roughly the size of Australia. So we're not a little tiny township floating around on the sea like many people would think. Anyway, this is just one little thing, and keep watching. If you like the video, please, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, so give it a like, and by all means subscribe, because I put a variety of things up, so you'll be the first to see them if you do subscribe, and I do appreciate it. Thanks.
After that, I don't expect to be invited to the opening of Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was born here. I've been in different parts of the world, and I love it. But yeah, I still call Australia home. The one thing about Johnny's protest, his statement that they made, that was the whole crux of this issue.
Australia is a wonderful island with a treasure trove of unique plants, animals, and people.
It has to be protected.
Australia is free of many pests and diseases that are commonplace around the world. That is why Australia has to have such strong biosecurity laws.
And Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct. When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia. Thanks.